Hi, my name is Celeste. Welcome. I'm going to discuss being part of the solution of underage drinking. Underage alcohol use is more likely to kill a young adult than any illicit drug combined. That's about 4,700 teens that die each year just from underage drinking. So there's some key methods here. Early prevention is important in reducing underage drinking and educating teens about the importance of restraining from alcohol use until they're 21. We as parents or adults, although we might not have children, we all know someone that we're close to, whether it's a nephew, a niece, a neighbor, someone that you go to church with, or another organized group. And this teen may be at the verge of drinking soon or have to face the peer pressure of underage drinking. So it's important for us as an adult and an active member of society to encourage and help be there for teens by communicating with them and becoming a mentor for them. It's important that we educate teens about the devastating effects that underage drinking has. Some easy stats are that nearly a third of all drunk driving deaths happen between the ages of 16 and 22 and that's anywhere from high school all the way through college. One out of 16 binge drink. So because most young adults don't know how to stop drinking because they just don't know their bodies and they haven't developed, they don't just have social drinks here and there, one or two, they actually binge drink, and which can lead to some serious effects. So it's important that we educate our teens about the probability that it's going to increase physical harm, sexual abuse, sexual promiscuity, addiction, driving, assault to themselves or to other, and more importantly, addiction and suicide or death. It's important to note that only 1 out of 100 parents believe that his or her teen is binge drinking. So I think that we as a community need to outreach to these young teens, and it's my goal today that you at least walk away with some tips and goals on how to communicate with teens and develop a sense of mentorship with a young teen. There's some basic consequences of alcohol, and it's important that we understand that as an adult, as a mentor, so we can discuss these things openly with the teenager. There's some short-term effects and long-term effects. I think we all know the short-term effects. It's red eyes, disorientation, slurred speech, impaired judgment. You usually do things that you wouldn't do when you're drunk, and with teens, we need to make them understand, because they're young and they don't know their limits, that it's when binge drinking is really the scary part. Long-term effects include alcohol dependence, liver problems, health problems, and increased risk of certain cancers. Some other signs that we can establish from underage drinking in young adults there's some physical characteristics. They become, like I said, there's red eyes, they smell of booze, tired. Emotional ones, they're moody, they're violent, they suddenly change their sweet personalities into just really not just horrible teens, but bad teens. They also become withdrawn from friends and families, stop hanging around with typical groups that they would hang around with. It's important to know that there are some resources available for children that are abusing alcohol. There's in and outpatient treatments, rehabs, some counseling, MAD, and most of these are free. And there's a lot of organization hotlines that we can reach out to. Again, some of the signs that teens are drinking, again, like I said, there's some academic issues, less interest in activities and appearance, finding alcohol among young persons' things, or smelling alcohol in them, slurred speech. It's important to, if you notice that someone is abusing alcohol, to address it immediately. And some few ways that you can develop an open line of communication and trust with these young teens, because that's really what it's about, is you want to be able to have a mentorship with these kids, that they can openly discuss things with you. And that starts with you yourself sharing some of your personal experiences that you've had, and really letting them know that there's trust there, that they can confide in you, and building that trust comes with you opening up to them, and also letting them know that you're going to engage and respect what they say, and not judge them. But also remember, there's certain times that we have to include the authorities and their parents if there's obviously harm or any type of suicidal thoughts or anything that physically might happen to them. So again, we want to be a mentor to our teens. Our actions matter early. It matters early that we discuss these things with teenagers. Connect with them, let them know that you've been there. Peer pressure is a normal thing, especially when it comes to college kids and high schools. And educate them and let them know that saying no to alcohol use and standing up to what you believe in actually empowers you and sets you apart and makes you a unique person.